Hi, this is Anil Kumar Sathe from Department of Mechanical Engineering, MIT School of Engineering, Pune. In continuation with the last lecture, we are going to start with remaining performance parameters. For today, number one performance parameter is fuel consumption. What is the definition? Amount of fuel consumed by the engine in a particular time. The unit of fuel consumption is kg per unit time. So you can consider time either in second, minute or hour. So unit is kg per hour, kg per minute or kg per second. This fuel consumption is denoted by MF. M stands for mass, F stands for fuel. It is also called as mass of fuel. But this fuel consumption is a misleading performance parameter for the engine, because the engine whose capacity is more, the cc is more. For example, Royal Enfield engine, it has a 350 cc capacity. So naturally the more fuel is burned in it and more power is produced by it. So input is more, output is also more. Let's consider the 100 cc of a Splendor engine, Hero Honda Splendor engine, where capacity is 100 cc, much less than Royal Enfield engine. So naturally it takes the less input and it produces the less output. So we can't compare, we can't say कि Hero Honda Splendor engine is better as compared to the Royal Enfield. The reason for it is Royal Enfield takes more but it produces more, and Splendor takes less and it produces less. So by that way the comparison is little misleading, and that's why there is a more important performance parameter, that is specific fuel consumption. What is the definition of specific fuel consumption? It is amount of fuel consumed to produce 1 kilowatt of power in 1 hour. Now you can see here two things are maintained constant here. Output power 1 kilowatt and the time during which this power is produced is considered as 1 hour. So output power and the time to produce that power is maintained constant, and under that two constant conditions the amount of fuel consumed by the two engines can be compared, and that parameter is called as specific fuel consumption. So amount of fuel consumed to produce 1 kilowatt of power in 1 hour is called as specific fuel consumption. Which power you are considering? If you are considering a brake power, depending on that specific fuel consumption is called as a brake specific fuel consumption. If you are considering the indicated power as a base, then specific fuel consumption is called as indicated specific fuel consumption. This brake specific fuel consumption and indicated specific fuel consumptions are denoted by capital BSFC and capital ISFC. The unit of specific fuel consumption is kg per kilowatt hour. The formula for BSFC and ISFC are given in the slide. It is m dot f upon brake power into 3600. Now again the question is, why this 3600 is coming here? This 3600 is only to convert the fuel consumption from kg per second to kg per hour, so that finally we will get the unit kg per kilowatt hour. BSFC and ISFC's formula is exactly same. A minor difference is there. Instead of taking a brake power, we are considering a indicated power in ISFC. Next performance parameter is a mean effective pressure. Now what is meant by mean effective pressure? It is hypothetical value of constant pressure acting on the piston and produces same amount of work as that developed under actual conditions of variable pressure during entire power stroke of the piston. Seems difficult to understand that definition, but I will explain you in a simple language. In power stroke, you know, from top dead center to bottom dead center piston moves. When piston moves from TDC to BDC, pressure go on decreasing because it is an expansion stroke. So what is finally a power produced in a power stroke? It is pressure into volume covered by the piston during power stroke, and that is nothing but the power produced. So which pressure you are going to consider in this power stroke? Because actually the pressure is continuously varying, that is decreasing, while moving the piston from top dead center to bottom dead center during power stroke. So in the calculation we are not having a single value of pressure. So let's take an average of all the pressure during the power stroke. means the pressure at the top dead center, the pressure at all intermediate position of the piston, and pressure at the bottom dead center. Take the average of all these values, and that is called as a mean effective pressure. So this mean effective pressure is used to calculate the indicated power or brake power. The unit of the pressure is Pascal or Newton per meter square. It is a good indication of power produced by the engine. Higher is the mean effective pressure, higher is the indicated power produced by the engine. This mean effective pressure is calculated by the formula W upon Vs. W means rate of work divided by the stroke volume. Another formula to get this mean effective pressure is the formula of BP or IP. BP is Planck's, IP is also Planck's. Only the difference is P is BMEP, and in case of IP, P is IMEP. So, if I know BP and IP and other parameter, that is L, A, N and X, I can easily calculate indicated mean effective pressure or brake mean effective pressure from above formulas. So, as you understood, mean effective pressure means it is average pressure exerted on the piston to produce the power in power stroke. Now, the next performance parameter we are seeing, that is air fuel ratio. It is defined as mass flow rate of ratio of mass flow rate of air to the mass flow rate of fuel, and it is indicated by m dot A upon m dot F. What is the unit of air fuel ratio? Now you are saying it is mass upon mass, means kg upon kg, the unit get cancelled, but it's not so. Numerator is mass flow rate of air and denominator is mass flow rate of fuel. So unit is not cancelled because it is of different material. Unit is kg per kg of fuel for air fuel ratio. What is the significance of this parameter? It decides the quality of the mixture. As you know, for petrol and diesel, stoichiometric mixture air fuel ratio is 15:1. If the air fuel ratio for an engine is below 15:1, the mixture is classified as a rich mixture. And if the air fuel ratio goes beyond 15:1, the mixture is classified as lean or weak mixture. These things already we have learned in a carburetor, just I am giving it for the remembrance. Now, the next performance parameter is thermal efficiency. Thermal efficiency is defined as ratio of power output produced by the engine to the heat supplied. The unit of thermal efficiency is actually it is the ratio of power to the heat supplied. So, what you can say, it is watt upon watt. So, unit gets cancelled, but it is expressed as a percentage because it's a efficiency, output upon input. What is the significance of thermal efficiency? You tell me, what is the purpose of IC engine? To burn the fuel and to produce the heat, and that heat is converted into mechanical energy. So from the fuel energy we are trying to achieve or trying to produce the useful work. That is the significance of thermal, that is the use of IC engine. Now this thermal efficiency parameter exactly tells you to what extent heat energy produced by burning the fuel is converted into useful work. If it is converted less and more heat is rejected to the surrounding without its conversion into useful work, that means thermal efficiency is less. If the more heat is converted into useful work and less heat is rejected to surrounding, that means thermal efficiency is higher. So higher thermal efficiency means the good engine, you can say. For a normal engine, the brake thermal efficiency value lies between 25 to 30% for petrol engine and 35 to 45% for diesel engine at full load. So this is the efficiency values for the good engine, but remember these are full load values. Now in the similar fashion, indicated thermal efficiency is also defined. Only the difference is, instead of taking a brake power on the numerator, we are taking indicated power on the numerator. You can see here the formulas of brake thermal efficiency and indicated thermal efficiency. Numerator is brake power, here it is a brake thermal efficiency. Numerator is indicated power, here it is indicated thermal efficiency. Input in both the cases is same, that is heat supplied by burning the fuel m dot F into lower calorific value of the fuel. Remember these two formulas because we require these two formulas frequently in solving the numericals. So break thermal efficiency and indicated thermal efficiency is over. Now what is meant by relative efficiency? Relative efficiency is the parameter which tells you how much close your actual cycle is towards standard cycle, that is air standard cycle. So efficiency relative based on indicated power is the ratio of indicated thermal efficiency to the air standard efficiency. Now for example, for Otto cycle, air standard efficiency is given by 1 minus 1 upon R raised to gamma minus 1, where R is compression ratio and gamma is adiabatic index. In the similar fashion, if you are calculating relative efficiency based on the break power, only numerator is changed, that is break thermal efficiency instead of indicated thermal efficiency. Denominator remains as air standard efficiency. So that's it for today. We are closing for today's session. Thank you.